Let's fight, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. We are ready to go, guys. We are ready to go, ready to go. Wherever you're joining us from, whether you're joining us here on Twitter, you're joining us here on YouTube, you're joining us here on Facebook, we welcome each and every one of you in the ring this evening. We're going to sort out whatever setbacks we're having. But nonetheless, good to have so many of you in the house this evening. So many of you in the ring, guys. Let's fight. Let's fight. We are going to do what we got to do and move ahead. And as you come on, guys, we ask you to share this live stream, share it back to WhatsApp, copy that link, share it back to WhatsApp, invite a friend, let them know that we are on. We see we have some challenges, but we're going to work through all of that. We are going to work through all of that, folks. We are ready to go, 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 folks. Stay with us, stay with us. We're getting ready to start. Yep. Good to see each and every one of you, folks. What kind of day you guys have had? Tell us what kind of day you guys have had. Eager to see some of your comments. Good to see you there, Latoya Morris, and good to see you there, Charles Clark and Dean Inglewood and Yvonne. Some of our folks joining us on Twitter, joining us on YouTube. You guys are in the Bel Air, as we always say, of social media, or the Pradoville of social media. You guys are in the suburbs and YouTube there. Welcome in the ring, guys. Wherever you guys are joining us from. If you guys are joining us from the Christopher Jones Facebook page, well, you gotta represent tonight. Tommy Gibbs, good to see you there, Tommy. Joining us again from, is that YouTube? Tommy, yes, Tommy joining us from YouTube. Tommy Gibbs, good to see you there, Tommy. Those of you guys who are joining us in the Christopher Jones page, we want to bid all of you guys a warm welcome in the ring. So much to share with you tonight. And Christopher is going to be joining us. Chief Whip Christopher Jones is going to be joining us as well. And also we have coming out of Linden, the mining tongue of Linden, Member of Parliament Devin Sears. He is going to be joining us as well, talking about the protest activities that occurred during the course of the day and the issues that are central to those activities. So we are waiting for some more folks to join us in the ring, waiting to reach our magic number. As soon as our technical folks tell us that we are good to go, we are going to be ready to rumble, folks, ready to rumble. I see Onessa Ward Dean has joined us as well. We have also Rosie Jeff has joined us, and Michael Fraser, Anne-Marie Selby has joined us as well. Arlene Rodney, good night to you. Welcome in the ring. Hala Bruley has joined us in the ring. Mikey Mike has joined us as well. Guys, we got to do what we got to do. Chris, I see clear. Alexis Richmond is joining us as well. And Ann Jones Underwood. Good night to each and every one of you. Well, folks, who told me to ask you guys to support us? Who told me to do that? You know, and as I talk about it, let me bring up the branding. Who told me to do that? I see the PPP. Oh, so Duncan them begging. Duncan them are begging, right? Welcome in the ring, each and every one of you, as you join us this evening. Those of you who are joining us on Twitter, and I started back because I see we have additional folks. Some of the other streams have gone through, have joined us. Well, who tell me to ask for your help? PPP don't like that. The PPP doesn't like that because you know why? They know that we are going to continue to go from strength to strength. So the PPP folks don't like that. So they have been creating their little caricatures and those kinds of things about, oh, look at them begging now and all of that. What have I asked you guys to do? Support the program. Politics cannot happen without finances. The PPP go and they host the big fundraisers in the US and all of that. Kudos to y'all. Well, little old Duncan here got his program, little small Duncan got his program asking people to partner with us on a monthly basis. You can donate $5 US, $10 US, $15 US, $20 US. because we know that you guys got other commitments as well. No, they come out talking. They come out talking. Nobody and vex with y'all when y'all getting y'all funding from y'all fans and y'all supporters. Nobody worried about that. But that is to tell they're watching us, folks. They are watching us. And I'm going to use the opportunity to say, guys, that this program has always been powered by you. It has always been powered by you. And to that end, because it has always been powered by you, we are asking you guys to commit, as I said, to partnering with us on a monthly basis. $5 US, $10 US, $15 US, $20 US. And that Cash App handle again is the $ in the ring 592. Cash App in the ring 592. And then you have PayPal as well, because we know PayPal is very prevalent in some places as well. And the PayPal email address is in the ring 592 at gmail.com. In the ring 592 at gmail.com. And we know for folks in Guyana, they use also the MMG system. They use the MMG system. That is the GT&T system. And the phone number there you want to send your contribution to would be 627-6963. And for some people who don't like any of that, you still have MoneyGram and you have Western Union available. So I don't concern. Let the people be talk. And let them cut this portion out for the caricature and give me some free mileage. Give me some free mileage to ask you guys at home and abroad to help our program grow from strength to strength. This program is about you. This program is about you. And because you are funding it, nobody else can tell me what I should and should not say here. That is the liberty that I have. That is the liberty that I have. Nobody can tell me what I should and should not say. And I'm going to come back to asking again throughout the broadcast for your support in this very, very meaningful ways. Folks, this is going to allow us to build capacity in our programs. And just like today, when we went to Linden to cover that rally, it's going to help us to do that in an even better way. Improving our audio, improving our visuals, improving the holistic outlook and output of our program. We are aiming to be professionals here. We want no piampi thing that represents you. So we encourage your support again, as low as $5 US or all the way up to $20 US on a monthly basis. We're asking you guys to partner with us in this way so that we can grow from strength to strength. Moving on, folks. moving on from there. Again, folks, welcome in the ring. Welcome in the ring. Really good to have so many of you with us this evening. Great to see so many of you. Again, we're going to have MP Christopher Jones, a member of parliament, joining us. And we're going to also have MP Devin Sears joining us as well. But lots of hot topics to get through, folks. Lots of hot topics. I know why the people be bothering with me. You know why they're bothering with us? Because when they look at our programs, they see thousands of you guys every single night in the ring. Last evening, we had over 3,000 persons watching us live. Coming onto the broadcast, the guy said to us, we're already at 20,000, 25,000 views for last evening program. That is what they are worried about. That is what they are worried about. But if they have good content, which they don't, all of the bad policies that they are passing, and they have a professionally produced program, people would watch them. Nobody is watching at them. And so they, in turn, have trained their eyes on us. They're looking to see what we're doing here in the ring. This fast. Lex Barker is not so Lex. Diane Fordyce and Olive Farrell Jones and Lizzie Simon. Don Howard Noel. Don, somebody spot you, girl. Congratulations, Don. Don Howard Noel. She's spoken for. Renee Mackenzie Talbot. Why are they watching us? Why are they watching us? If you all want to support your program, why are they watching us? The fast. Selena Fraser, a very good evening to you. And Selena has been one of our supporters in many regards. In many, many regards. Selena Fraser from Ontario, Canada, has been one of our supporters. Alexis Douglas, good to see you as well. And Desiree Chapman and Yolanda Moore, Anne-Marie Selby, Andrea, is it Hudson? Andrea Houston. Good to see all of you guys. Jeremy Marks, come on down. You got to say present. You ought to mark the register. Roxanne Besson, Carol Jacobs, Diane Fordyce, Pamela Gurick, and Joy Bruce. right? I want to shout out Lynette in Bermuda, Elizabeth in South Carolina. Good to see all of you folks. Good to see you guys there. Good to see you guys there. Guys, we are so appreciative of all that you do. As you come on, we encourage you guys to share the live stream. I am about ready to get through the hot topics this evening. We am playing, ready to get through the hot topics with you. Lots to discuss. Big protests happened today. Big protests happened today. Also, want to shout out Yvette in Connecticut. Yvette, you know yourself. Yvette said, Duncan, anytime you're passing through this side, my home is open to you. Yvette, down there in Connecticut. Good to see you guys. Good to see all of you. Monica, you never said, Duncan, you could pass through by my end. Monica Jones and Kim Walker. Debbie Pitt. Hazelyn King. Hazelyn, how you doing? Good to see you, Hazelyn. Derek Smith and Michelle Fordyce. Again, Renee McKenzie Talbot. Good to see you, Renee. Good to see you there. Sukhchan Sudhari. Good to see you there. Sukhchan said no vaccine, but that's how we carried it. No vaccine. Deanne Britton. Onika Fraser. Derek Smith. Derek McCalman. Good to see all of you guys. Folks watching us from Antigua. Folks watching us from Japan. Folks watching us from Pennsylvania. Folks watching us from around the world. Welcome to our international audience, guys. I am ready to get on with the hot topics. Guys, I want to know how you're feeling this evening. Touch those emojis for me. Are you happy? You're sad? You know, what is your emotion this morning? Touch this evening. Touch those emojis for me, guys, and share the live stream. So good to see so many of you. I want to hear from you this evening, guys. Share the live stream. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from you guys this evening. Good to have so many of you here. It's really and truly our privilege, really and truly our privilege to have you guys here in the ring. Good to have you guys here in the ring. And guys, you know what? There's so much happening. There is so much happening. And one of the first things I woke up to this morning is another PPP abuser. I woke up to another PPP abuser. This man named Screech. Guys, when I saw this man operate this morning as a man, as part of the male species, my skin crawled me. When I saw him operate, my skin was crawling me, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So let's see how Screech operated. Let's see how Screech operated. And then I want to come back and tell you who Screech is and who Screech belongs to. Another PPP abuser. Watch your headphone there. Watch your headphone there. Folks, there you have it. These guys aren't easy. There you have it. There you have it. Right? Now, we were made to understand, reliably informed, that Screech, this Jagabat, is the son of a known PPP supporter, as well as being a PPP supporter himself. Right? Screech is his name. An abuser. And guys, I want us to share the live stream because we want other people to see and to know what is happening, to see and to know what they are up to see and to know. So Screech, according to credible reports, ladies and gentlemen, is the son of a PPP RDC and NDC councillor and the Prime Minister representative in Region 1, who it is alleged, ladies and gentlemen, uses her office to protect her son. According to credible reports, Screech is the Port Kaituma bad man. According to credible reports, ladies and gentlemen, and he often, it is alleged, abuses and assaults people. And then his mother, in turn, it is said, uses her political connection to get him out of trouble. But more than that, we are reliably informed that this video that I've just shown to you was given to the police in Port Kaituma, and they have done nothing with it. They have done absolutely nothing with it. Not absolutely, absolutely nothing with it. Tommy Gibbs, what do you say to that? Penelope Daly and Denise Booker, what do you say to that? June Birch and Diana Hicks. The police has done nothing with it. And what is incredible to me, just recently I saw some headlines, just like many of you. One headlines in iNews, for instance, read, with over 800 domestic violence cases reported. With over 800 domestic violence cases reported. Right? With over 800 domestic violence cases reported. Cops to be trained to deal better with such matters. Cops to be trained better to deal with such matters. And I'm going to come back to that story in just a little bit. I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to circle back to it, folks. But today you had two protests, ladies and gentlemen. Two protests. Paulette Hicks, were you in any one of the protests? In Guyana? Sukhchan Sudhari. We often talking about boots on the ground. Is now I see some people getting serious. There was a protest in Georgetown, and there was one also in Linden. Oh, thousands of persons turned out. And I must say, thank you to each and every one of you who came out. Who came out, folks. Tonight is the night. I want you guys to share this live stream. The folks came out. There was a lot of energy in Georgetown, but I was there in Linden, in my born town. So big shout out to Linden. Big shout out to all the Lindeners who made us feel so welcome. Who made us feel so welcome and who really and truly big up in the ring there in Linden today. All you fantastic ladies and gentlemen. So a massive, massive showing there today. Thousands turned out on the Square of the Revolution and also in Linden. But we know also that thousands more of you should turn out. Should turn out. Too many people still behind the computer screens, you know. And I try to lead by example. So I'm not just a Facebook activist, a Facebook social media politician. When the show finished and the lights go off, I on the ground. But it was so good to see so many of you there in Linden today. I didn't plan to speak, but I was almost hauled up on the stage. Well, you know I had to talk to the crosses. You know, I had to talk about the crosses. Yep, I had to talk about the crosses. Because we cannot go a day in this country when they don't do some foolishness. We cannot go a day in this country without these crosses and these jagabats doing something foolish. So I would like to say right off the bat, a good night to all except Robeson Benn. Because Robeson name calling. Robeson Benn name calling. And so without any fear of contradiction, a good night to all except Robeson. Because we were made to understand, you know, indicative of the PPP coming back. Like, you can't protest in this country. Apparently, you can't protest in this country. When they were in opposition, they had a free hand to protest. But now, all of a sudden, this cross Robeson, I'm looking for the graphic to ensure that we have it. This cross Robeson, a good night to all except him. Except Robeson Benn. I know our technicians are going to help us to get that one. A good night to all except Robeson. All right, I'm not seeing it here. A good night to all except Robeson. Because we were made to understand today, in the vein that the PPP really and truly come back. In the Georgetown protests, or during the Georgetown protests, activist Kidackie Amsterdam was arrested along with other protesters. We are reliably informed that they were simply making their way down to the Ministry of Education to make their voices heard. Now, when these jacobats were in opposition, these crosses, where they didn't protest is where there weren't places to protest. We remember the infamous protest activity in front of Pegasus, where they tried to upturn the then Minister of Health, Karen Cummins' vehicle. You all remember that? Irfan was there. And now these jagabats, do not want to extend that courtesy to others. These same jagabats. And so today, we have learned that they would have arrested Kidackie Amsterdam. These jagabats. Yep. So when we say that the PPP come back, we mean that there are instances where they have come now to deny you and I our constitutional rights. And I know my brother Gavin Matthews loves to talk about the Constitution. So I'm going to leave my brother to develop on that. That is what they have come to do. Deny us our civil liberties. I haven't heard up to program time whether Kidackie and others were released, but we are calling here in the ring for this swift release. What our rights are any less, Yonet Elias, Alison Pearson, than the PPP rights when they were in opposition? Kamal Prasad, Vice Chair of Region 7, our rights are any less than theirs? Prosperous Linnell Milner, Yvonne on Twitter, Samuel Phillips, James Jones, are our rights any less than theirs? And so we are calling for the swift release of those persons who are just exercising their constitutional rights. So I hope Wendy and June Beresford and Alison Pearson and Roxanne Aaron and Maria Lee and Diane Graves-Zanley have shared our live stream along with the others of you, because the people out there need this information. We need this information. And again, we are asking for the swift release of Kidackie Amsterdam and the other activists and protesters who are out there simply exercising their constitutional right. Things tight, people. Right? Things tight. And every day we have so many examples of how that is so. Things tight. Things tight. Y'all didn't like the good life and the great job. We didn't like it. Now people are doing all kinds of things to get by. All kinds of things we're seeing out there. You know, I got to fight some people this evening. Right? I see Henry Rodney. I don't know if this is my brother Henry Rodney, the Henry Rodney, saying to us that Kidackie is out. I'm grateful for that. Grace James and all the others, I'm grateful for that and hope you guys are sharing the live stream. Things tight in this country. And to that extent, we reported here in the ring just a couple days ago, right? Just a couple days ago, that there were over 240 vaccine cards that went missing from the Ministry of Health. They weren't left on the road by the ministry or in a drain. They were in the precincts, in the jurisdiction of the ministry, ladies and gentlemen, when they went missing. Well, blank cards, whether it is those same cards or other vaccine cards, are turning up all over the place. So, ladies and gentlemen, valid viewers with the credible comments, trench crappos, trenchies, jagabats, all. Some turned up today at the West Demerara Hospital. These COVID cards turned up there. According to the police report, here's what it says. Investigations conducted by the police following the arrest of 3 men in relation to the discovery of 4 blank COVID vaccine cards have led to the discovery of several more of these documents. Right? Yesterday, 3 persons were arrested after they were caught with 4 blank and unstamped COVID-19 vaccine books, 17 stamped sick leave forms, and several medical equipment, including stethoscope, sugar testing kit, and pressure testing kit. Things tight, people. Things tight. And people doing all kinds of strange things. So you got COVID cards on the market. And according to the report, this was staff at the West Demerara Regional Hospital. This was staff at the West Demerara Regional Hospital. Things are tight. I told you all. Oh, you all think I'm only trying to make fun and games? You stand up too long in one place in this country, ladies and gentlemen, and can't gone with you, ditto. Them boys gone with you. All of this is traced back to the failure of the PPP economic policy. By now you know it by heart, by rote. Ashley Singh promised economic dynamism. Yes, that's what Ashley Singh promised. Economic dynamism. We ain't seen it and we are feeling it. And the man that's responsible for me sounding a little hoarse tonight just walk in the studio and take up his seat. I come back from foreign horse. I said, chap, the old voice and the old voice and saying 2 things today. He said, you got to go up and talk. So he just walk in the studio. We can talk to him just now. I don't know Kim Walker one who is who, Tyrone Peters one who is who, Claudette Harry one who is who, Alexis Muir, Prophet one who is who. Right? Is Prophet you are as your maiden name, then you marry Prophet. Onesawar Dean, one who back studio, and Latoya Murray. You better share the live stream before I gotta fight y'all. So if you want COVID cards to buy, apparently COVID cards on the market. I can't tell you which stall at border or which stall by big market, but them boys know. Them boys know. And in some of these instances, the staff just seen what the people upstairs doing and following suit. You know the people upstairs. I know the people upstairs. We all know the people upstairs. It's the crisis. So in lots of instances, them boys just looking and they are following suit. Ladies and gentlemen. Things tight. One man went to the supermarket without his mask. Right? I don't know what they're drinking over there in Region 3. Member of Parliament, Ganesh Mahipal, what are they drinking over there in Region 3? Because this was in Purika. The different in Purika. So the guard and the customer had an argument over the customer not wearing a mask, apparently. This is in Purika, Region 3. And the news reports that the guard shot the man in the foot. The guard shot the man in his foot. Right? Let me hasten on. He shot the man in the foot. Right? The different in Purika. Things different in Purika. Fazil rather, called Robbie. Fazil called Robbie's 57 of Purika. He was not wearing his mask before he entered the supermarket. As a result, an argument ensued between him and the security guard. According to the report, Fazal left and returned later with a cutlass. They're different in Region 3. Things different there. He left and come back with a cutlass, brandishing it at a security guard. They're different. Right? They're different. Irfan is from that side. I hear Irfan is live close to Ganesh. They're different in Region 3. So he brandished the cutlass. The security guard said that after Fazal pulled the cutlass, he pulled out his handgun and shoot him in his leg. You know what's the moral of the story? You better wear your mask in them supermarkets over. So they're different over there. Simone Ben Williams, Erica English, Bonita Elise Parker, Esther Blue and Brenda Braffett, Sandra Hanover, Auntie Sandra, Valerie Archibald, Susan Marshall, Cyclin Earl. They're different. I tell you, the people are different over there. So they shot the man in the leg. Moving on quickly to bring on our guests. The soup drinkers. You know we got some soup drinkers among us. You know we got some soup drinkers. They said there is PvP real and truly. But when you see the action, the different, the contrary. Folks, you better share this live stream. They don't vex that I asking y'all for the little fine change so that we can expand. They vex. So they got this soup drinker here at City Hall. Candace Nelson. Well, it's like we're going back to the days of sober. They say she's a PvP girl. I don't know. I just think, Candace, what she said, because when they're done with you, you won't be good for yourself. You know, a lot of people ask me about this Dulari whole story. A lot of people ask me about this big whole Dulari. Folks, we can come back to that. Back to Nelson. Sometimes I guess I track a little bit. Nelson, better watch yourself. So Nelson, the installed town clerk, who the people at City Hall don't want there, Nigel Darmlal force her on City Hall. But City Hall don't want her. They call her the interim town clerk. But there is nothing in 2801 of the laws of Guyana, which governs municipalities like City Hall, that makes any allowances for an interim town clerk. But she has signaled that salaries will be delayed because, of course, if she's interim, apparently she can't sign off. Apparently she cannot sign off And this is what one report read. Scores of workers, right, at the Georgetown Main City Council were told on Monday that their salaries could be delayed by several days, if not weeks, as the power struggle continues at the municipality. The notice of late payment was issued by the town clerk acting, but she acting one time, the next time she's in interim. Candace Nelson, whose appointment the mayor O'Brien Ryan continues to reject, she told them. Right? In addition to the late payment, Nelson also warns that the provision of certain essential municipal services to local communities may be disrupted. This is a direct result, right, of an anticipated delay in payment of the wages and salaries of the council's employees. Good? So we look like we're going back. We ain't going forward. We going back. So much for the soup drinkers. Forward ever. Well, Anil, these crosses. These are the crosses. Anil said now that the legal advice on the no confidence motion against the other Jagabat, Minister of Health, Frank Anthony, and the old Jagabat, the old cross, Ropes and Benn. The advice is ready, but here's story A. Folks, here's story A. You know, only in this backward country, under these backward people, here's story. You better grab your popcorn. Right? Here's story here with this set. Here about this vagabond. Right? Here story here, people. Here's, hey. This is what Alil said concerning this legal advice. Folks, listen to this report. And y'all better share the live streaming. I ain't playing with y'all tonight. I ain't playing with y'all. Right? Alexis Muir says, name the soup drinkers. Here Alil says, according to one report, the legal advice ready. I hope the chief whip prepare for this. The legal advice ready. However, it is conveniently ready. However, Parliament is currently in recess, and the matters are likely to be dealt with until October. We on rest, we on vacation. Parliament in recess for 2 months since early August. The opinions are ready, according to the AG, quote unquote, the opinions are ready, and I will transmit them in due course, whenever I feel ready, in due course, to the clerk. I didn't see the need to do it now. This is what Winseed saying. I didn't see the need to do it now because Parliament is in recess, but they have been completed. So I don't know. Whenever I feel like it. Maybe just before they come out of recess, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month. I don't know. Depends on how I wake up, how I feel, you know, a whole process and so on. We'll know how we're moving forward. But they're finished. They're finished, but coming soon. Coming soon. More pocketry. Just before I bring in my guest. Hear this old cross. Hear this old cross. Remember I told you about that story at the beginning of the show with the abuse? Oh, and they said 800 domestic violence cases for the year. Right? Because they are crosses. People frustrated. They're doing all kind of weird things. They are now training the police. Right? So here what is Benn's training program name? Cop Squad 2000. It's where they get these guns from. Where they get these gun stocks from? IFLAT University? Cop Squad 2000. After Robeson take he blue pills and he drift off to sleep later on, he come up with this. Cop Squad 2000. This is the government we got. The name insipid. Cop Squad 2000. I remember 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I now got email. It was 2000. We passed 2000, long time. Cop Squad 2000. So they're moving forward. They're moving back. The only big But then get sense. They're moving forward. They are not moving back. Ladies and gentlemen. And with that, I want to welcome my guest this evening. I have with me this evening none other than MP Devin Sears out of the mining town of Linden, and as I say, my barn town. Right? So y'all mustn't rush up to he. As I say, ladies and gentlemen, it's my barn town. Don't rush up to he. And I also have the the chief whip, Mr. Christopher Jones. Welcome, guys. Welcome in the ring this evening.
We're ready for fight.
We gotta fight. What's
the way, brother?
I'm good, Devin. I see you guys had a lot of activity today. Congratulations.
Yeah. We tried that thing.
Well, I don't know. Chris somehow looking like he joining me from Afghanistan or Baghdad. You there. Lots of action on the ground out here. Shots fired. Right. So Chris, I know that you had your hands full on the Square of the Revolution, and we saw hundreds, if not thousands of persons turned out there. Thousands of persons were in Linden. Let's start with Georgetown. Chris, what happened on the Square of the Revolution today? What was that energy that we were feeling across the country?
Right. So essentially, the Square of the Revolution, hundreds, if not, as you rightfully said, thousands of people came out. And what is noteworthy to mention is that the folks were gathered on the Square of the Revolution as at 9 a.m. this morning, which is commendable. And essentially, you saw a combination of the minibus drivers and conductors, and they had the presence of the minibus association that was present. You had some of the teachers who were out there, and the Ghana Teachers Union, through its representative, President Coretta McDonald was there. I saw social activists. Odessa Primus was there, and I know herself and her team of people are doing the My Body, My Choice. And of course, Sharad, today, Wednesday, would have marked the 7th week or the 7th Wednesday since the MP started that Wednesday 12 o'clock picketing exercise. So it was a combination of all of these different groups turning up there today, happened to be on the Wednesday, which is the expiration date, if I can put it like that, as it relates to the 2 weeks extension that the installed administration had given public servants to get their COVID vaccination. So they were there from since 9 o'clock this morning. The energy was right, and persons essentially wanted to do much more than just gather on the Square of the Revolution and picket, because their frustration, the climate, the frustration is so high across this country now that picketing people have essentially gone beyond that, and they want more than that.
Yeah, and Chris, that is what I heard just this afternoon talking with one of the activists who was on the ground there, that people want more than just standing up out there now.
Exactly. And I think essentially it will reach a point in which the leadership or the leaders who are there on the ground with the people will not be able to hold the people back, and essentially you will have to let them go at some point. And they have to take the action. Because when they look at what is happening in, let's say, Barbados or Trinidad and Tobago, where you see real leadership that is being demonstrated by those respective governments, and you saw what we have here that you could describe as leadership, and nothing less than that. That is what we have here in Guyana. It is not leadership as what you're seeing in Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados. You're seeing leadership. That is essentially the best way you can describe it that is happening in the country. You had no less of a person than Irfan Ali, who's supposed to be the leader of this country, to come on national television and call Guyanese who have not taken the COVID-19 vaccination and say that they are worse than COVID-19.
Man, Chris, you can use Irfan and lead in the same sentence. You can use Irfan and puppet in the same sentence, Irfan and puppet, or you could use Irfan and catfish. But don't use correctly. Don't desecrate the word leader.
Well, I agree with you. So Catfish came on national television and said to all and sundry that the Guyanese people who have not taken the vaccine are worse than COVID-19. And you want to remind this person that COVID-19 across the world has killed hundreds of thousands of people. And this man is essentially calling his people, his populace, COVID-19, which is a murderer, it's a killer, killing people across the country. So people are frustrated. Then, of course, yesterday you saw what took place in the Ministry of Education Building 21, in which educated university graduates, public servants, are handcuffed by the police and escorted out of their offices at a ministry of these are public servants, and locked outside of the building. And then, of course, you see Priya Demonic Chan now speaking about parents who will refuse their children being vaccinated. And I am one. I am saying that here plain and straight, as plain as day. My 3 offspring will not be injected with any vaccination.
Very well.
Whether it is Pfizer, Moderna, septic tank V, whatever, it is not going into my children. That is my position. But you have Priya Demonic Chan comes on national television and say to all and sundry that if you choose not to vaccinate your children, they're always homeschooling. That is what I talk about in terms of the leadership that we have in this country. Now, so all of that, it's a combination of the frustration of the people. And we're not even touching on the corruption with the rights army. We're touching that. So all of that, and the people on the square of the revolution
that's the whole show.
Today, exactly. They are so rallied up and they wanted more than that. More than just standing on the square of the revolution. So the activity on the square was concluded at about 1:45. And the persons decided now that they're going to take a picketing exercise at the ministry's building. Some persons left with their transportation that was available to them, and other persons decide to walk because it's literally just a few corners away. Lo and behold, the threats and intimidation that has started on the square of the revolution with heavy police presence. You would swear that the police detected more foreign leaf milk. Somebody had foreign leaf milk on the square of the revolution. So police were all over. They patrolling on bikes. They got the plain clothes, the half pants clothes. They're all over, and everybody knows them. Everybody, I mean, you're like, oh, there's a police, he's a police, she's a police. Everybody knows them. So if you see the number of police that were present on the square of the revolution, and as we said before, it is nothing more than to inflict fear and intimidation in the people. But the people weren't worried about that. So those persons who walked down to the ministry's building were surrounded by surrounded by busloads of police. You would swear, and this was probably about 25 persons, if so much. You would swear that a terrorist threat has just been detected on Brigham. The entire force came out. And we saw them manhandling citizens. You saw them manhandling Kidackie Amsterdam, literally flinging him in the bus. And
you know what I regret? I regret that the same amount of police didn't go after this Region 1 councillor's son, Screech, who was beating up his girlfriend in the street. Not even one police, much more 25.
But you know, Screech's mother is Prime Minister Mark Phillips' liaison in Region 1, and Screech's mother is the immediate past chairman of the Neighborhood Democratic Council of Port Kaituma. And Screech's mother is a strong woman of the People's Progressive Party Civic. And that is what we talk about across the length and breadth of this country. Once you're one party man or a party woman, you do no wrong.
No police can go after you. No police can go after them. So you could beat your girlfriend in the street. You could shoot your girlfriend in your stomach.
That's right. That's right. And nothing will happen to you.
Be careful.
They can send, the police can send a busload of police to arrest 25 or 15 persons walk with a piece of cardboard, detain them, rough them up, and put them on charges about illegal procession. But up to now, the same police can't arrest Dalrymple. The story that you broke, they can't arrest her. And I earlier tonight, I was on Coretta McDonald's program, and I said to her, I don't think you had gotten the information. The said police officer that the Dalrymple bit there live on camera, rather than the victim receiving justice, the policeman was transferred from Region 3, and he's now stationed at Lusignan Prison. And for the last 2 months,
Oh,
the
wow.
said policeman has not received his wages and salaries.
Y'all hear
So
shit
that is
here,
what's
people?
happening in the police.
Y'all hear shit here,
Yeah.
people? Huh?
That is what we're talking about.
Devin, you know, y'all had quite an assembly there this morning, quite a muster. And we know this is the warming up phase of that protest. And I said to Rickford Burke, coming out of York, Chris, Rickford said to me, "You better get on the ground there, Rickford. Hope you see what happened there. Hope you see what happened there." I said to the crowd this morning that, you know, I watched at Brooklyn Yard and I said, we can't think this here. But Lindeners came out. And again, I had a good sense of what happened in Georgetown because I was minding my business in Linden. I went home. But even y'all brought out the people. The people came out. They didn't came out. They were out.
Yes.
Yes, they came out. They came out in their thousands, Sharon. I'm a bit hoarse, but let me tell you this here. You see, when you come against one Lindener, you come against all. And that's what
I keep telling them. Us Lindeners are like that.
They came after our nurses, they came after our teachers, they came after our children. They don't want to try in 2012. You see, that's still left in the back of minds of people.
Yeah.
And that is what we see coming out today. That's why we have such a great turnout. And we're sending a clear message to the PPP. Don't mess with Region 10 residents, you know. Don't mess with me. Don't come for me because we're coming for you.
Yep.
So Air fan, whoever you are, the Jagobats, don't come for Region 10 people. We showed up in our numbers today because we understand the importance of unity. And you have been trying constantly to basically fragment us, pull us apart. But we stood as one today. And we will continue to fight. And Chris, I really respect what you guys have done in Georgetown and the Square Revolution. We appreciate that. I want to say special thanks, Sharon, to some persons who have played an integral role in organizing today. Plantain and Cheese Man, he was boarded in 2012. In fact, when we blocked the bridge and did what we had to do, he started frying plantain and sprinkling little cheese because that's all we had. And he turned that into a franchise. We also want to say thanks to Mr. Cleveland Thomas, former principal of Christian Borg Wisdom Secondary School, also Apostle London, Dr. Carter, Flegon Carter, who was the two-shower Rockstone that spoke, the mayor of Linden, Latoya Williams, representative of GTU, Keisha Garraway, she's a representative of GTU. We had MP Figueroa, Mark Goring, councillor, and also the vice chair of AFC in Region 10. We had people out there. We had folks all the way from Araima. We had Rockstone, Kokwani, Aichuni, the Riverine area. Everybody came out because we stood against this regime who is pushing dictatorship. And we're saying you can't force nothing down we throat, neither in our arms. And that is what we stood against today here in Region 10. And we're encouraging the rest of the country to join in this struggle. Because, you know, jokingly, we always say that if the PPP tried to push things in our arms, they will try to push things elsewhere. But we're not accepting that.
Yeah.
We are not accepting that.
Yeah.
We're standing up against this dictatorship that the PPP is trying to portray on our country. But Sharon, I really appreciate you being there today. The people came out in their numbers from Mackenzie, from Wisma, from all across the region, and we held hands today and stood up against this installed regime that we call PPP.
Yep. You know, since they came into office, they've started to unleash a lot of plagues on Linden as in elsewhere. And it was so heartening, Chris. I know you couldn't be two places at one time, Christopher. But my God, it swelled my heart to see Lindeners come out. And you know what? This might sound strange. I want the people to continue. I want them to continue doing this foolishness, the corrupt activities. I want them to continue to thief money from the coffers because I want them to have a short tenure. I want them to have a short tenure. Look what is happening with that flood money for the farmers. Oh my God, Christopher. These guys got a heart. Look what is happening with our nurses. Yesterday's heroes are today's villains.
Zero. No, today's zeros.
Today's
And
yesterday's heroes, today's heroes.
My God, my God. Where do we go from here, fellas? Where do we go from here with the protest activities? Because I feel right now is a warm up. It's going through one of the areas and coming through next. I think we're on the ground back next week or later this week. So they are telling people what is happening.
All right,
Chris,
go ahead. Dave. All right, so essentially, as I know it, is that the protest. I mean, it wasn't a start and ending today. The protest will continue because the imposed mandatory vaccination is being instituted by the PPP. And essentially, what is happening? They're doing it like what they are doing in terms of the termination of people of African descent. They're doing it on a sort of a hush hush. Like before, when they were terminating people, you used to read 26, 60 persons terminated. Now what they're doing is 2 and 3 per day. And essentially with the mandatory vaccination, like what we saw yesterday at Ministry 21 building, in which you had the police check there and a few persons were locked out. Similarly, it is happening over at the Guyana Printery. The Guyana Printery, I can't remember the supervisor's name, but I'll make a post on her by tomorrow. The Guyana Printery, the same thing is happening there. Is that the security essentially restricts people from entering the compound, and then there is this check to see who has the vaccination cards, and if they can't produce it, those persons are locked out. So it is happening. And as we said before, and as I said before, and I want to repeat it here on this program, Sherrod, like when you had, or like the advocacy that is there by the LGBTQ community, and all and sundry rallied to them when they made their plea that the right of a person to have a relationship with a male to male or a female to female is their fundamental right, and they have that right to choose who is their partner, who is the person that they love. This issue with vaccination is a similar issue. It is the person's fundamental right to choose whether or not they want to be vaccinated. And like we said before, and I want to repeat it on the program, the APNU AFC supports vaccination, but that vaccination has to be on an individual's choice. And after that individual made his or her choice to be vaccinated, then they must so go and do. What we have to do as an opposition and as the government is ensure that we share the relevant information so people are informed. A lot of this vaccine hesitancy that we're seeing is because of the lack of information. And we are, as the APNU AFC, as encouraging people to be vaccinated. And at the same time, we're calling for information. The APNU AFC, as we speak here today, still does not have a seat on the National Task Force. And all of these vaccines that we're seeing coming from left, right, and center, we have no knowledge of these vaccines. We have no knowledge in terms of where they came from. What are the repercussions? What are the side effects? How many persons died as a result of taking these vaccines? And that lack of knowledge prevents us as an opposition from going across the length and breadth of this country and saying to people or sharing that information, because persons are asking us, Chris, if I take this Pfizer vaccine, what are some of the side effects? I don't know. And then what people are saying on social media, oh, you can Google it. Now, when you Google the sites that comes up, you don't know if it's a reputable site. You don't know if the information that is you Google, if it's credible. And that is why the opposition has to have a seat on this National Task Force. So the same information that the installed administration has, as a responsible opposition, we have that information too. So don't call upon the opposition to go and encourage people to take vaccine when the opposition have no idea about the side effects or the repercussion of those vaccinations. We, unlike the PPP, the APNU AFC, we are not disingenuous. We are not going to go and tell the people false information to satisfy some narrow objective. We will speak based on information we have. And as we say to all and sundry, we don't have the information. It was only when we pressured Frank Anthony in the National Assembly, when we applied pressure on him, then we knew that these vaccines, the Sputnik V vaccine, aka the septic tank V vaccine, came from a third source.
Yeah, and has not been approved by the World Health Organization.
That's correct. It has not today as we speak, has not been approved. Now, if God forbids, Sherrod and Devin, God forbids, that a few weeks from now, you see the World Health Organization puts out some report about Sputnik V and recommend that it should not be it should not be given to people. What would then happen with all of the thousands of Guyanese, including members of the opposition, who have taken the Sputnik V vaccine? You can't take it out your system. And that is what we're saying. True. Prevention is better than cure. You saw the PPP kick up a stink when Dr. Keith Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago made the point to his people there in Trinidad that the reason why Guyana has vaccines now, because Guyana took vaccines that are not approved by the WHO. Yeah. And Trinidad and Tobago, that's right. And Trinidad and Tobago, unlike Guyana, has refused to take any vaccine that are not approved by the WHO. And even now, those citizens of this country, all of those thousands of Guyanese who have taken the Sputnik V vaccine, cannot travel to Trinidad, cannot travel to Barbados, cannot travel to Canada with those vaccines because they are not recognized by those countries. That is the implication. But the PPP ain't saying nothing but they hush. But that is the repercussion of the nonsensical approach in which the PPP does. That right now in Guyana, there are about 100 and something thousand Guyanese who have taken the Sputnik V vaccine that has not been approved by the World Health Organization. They cannot travel to Trinidad, Barbados, Canada, and there are a list of other countries that Guyanese who have taken Sputnik V vaccine cannot, I repeat, cannot travel to those countries. That is the reality.
And Chris, we know that they're coming with boosters. They're coming to tell you now you gotta get booster shot. You mark my word, they're gonna come with that. But even, part of the tragedy that we've had is all of the misinformation from the government themselves. Because, for instance, we shared here on this program that the the chief medical officer had circulated a notice to the health centers that, for instance, pregnant women should take the vaccines, while noting that there have been no research into the effects on pregnant women, but they don't seem to have any risk. That was the chief medical officer. In addition to that, he said nursing mothers should take the vaccine, even though there was no research into the effects of the vaccine on nursing mothers. But he concluded there is no imminent risk. Do you know recently, Chris and Devin, the same CMO, the chief medical officer, including this Jacobite and Cross, Frank Anthony, they're saying now that pregnant mothers and breastfeeding mothers are exempt from taking the vaccine. It's all kinds of madness, confusion.
Exactly.
That's right. But Sarah, let me tell you this here, right? 2 weeks ago, when we, as Linden and the nurses protested, right? That same model that they're using with exemptions, that is what came out from Linden. And that's what we always say, that Linden particularly is the cradle of the revolution. Any revolution that happens in this country, in this Caribbean, it starts from Linden. I'm sorry if I seem as if I'm disassociating myself from being a Guyanese and more so of a Lindener. But I'm really passionate because I believe Lindeners themselves have been shortlisted and discriminated even when it comes to development, healthcare, education, and everything, especially under the PPP. Our time of day was when APNU plus AFC was in government. We have seen magnificent development across the region: agriculture, education, healthcare. We've seen every major investments coming to Linden. But soon as the PPP came into government, everything cut short. Every single cost of living gone up. They're locking me out to the post office. They're locking me out to the hospital. They're locking me out to GRA, LEI, LUSCSL, like companies I'm talking about. And now they're trying to come after our hustlers, the taxi drivers, the conductors, the boat operators. And they're saying to us, we have to get vaccinated before we can earn a living. When you come after our children, we will come after you.
They're trying to bury Linden, but we're going to bury them. We're going to bury them. And
interesting about it. And we're saying to them, listen, we're going to give you a couple of days to get a couple of things straight. We want you to reverse this vaccination mandate. That is what we want from you. reverse that vaccination mandate. And if it is that you want us to take PCR tests, you pay for it. We're not paying for nothing. We're not paying for nothing because you are not giving us a salary increase. You're not giving us nothing. Our children are suffering. Parents are suffering, and we're struggling in this region. And you expect us to stand by you?
Yeah.
You're standing for nonsense. And we are not accepting it.
Yeah.
And that is what Region 10 is saying right now. And I say, when I speak for myself, I speak for the region, I speak for Guyana. We're not having this nonsense. Chris, Sharon, sorry, I'm so passionate about this issue.
We understand your anger. We understand your frustration. When you're dealing with these jacobats, you know, you understand your blood pressure from time to time goes up. We understand it.
That's right.
These guys are easy, and that is why we got to stay on the forefront, you know, feeling for what our people want and pushing these jacobats to get things done. They're lazy. Free of them lazy. Robson lazy. Susan and the liar. Onage Waldron. They're lazy. You got to push them. And we're going to push them. Right?
We're going to turn the heat up on them, Sharon. We're going to turn the heat up on them. We call them Borbies, Essequibo, Bartico.
I think we would have lost David there. He's going to come back in soon enough. But Chris, this is the situation currently, and we have to have boots on the ground. So if your thing today was big, I know they're going back to the drawing room. They must have got some cabinet meeting in Zoom this evening. You understand? A lot of phone calls were made. But this is a different flipping Guyana than you Jagabats left in 2015. And we can show y'all. Y'all won't even be a one-term government. Give me a half-term or a quarter-term. Mark our words. We are not having it. Chris?
Exactly. No, but you know as well, Sherrod, in terms with the current rice farmers grant and so forth, many of the information that I've been sharing on my page, these are essentially information that was provided to me by PPP supporters.
But rice farmers, let's talk about farmers across the board. Let's talk about farmers. Well, Region 4 and the farmers, is it 12 farmers in Region 4 and 3 in some place in close to where Devin is there, Linden, Kokwani, 3.
Listen, Sharon,
give us a break.
Listen, I can conclude that the People's Progressive Party civic supporters, whoever are still out there, who still refers to themselves as a supporter of the PPP, they too have concluded that they've made a terrible choice. They made a terrible choice when they voted for PPP. Because what is being played out in this country, in every facet of society in this country, it is not, you can't compare it to what transpired under the APNU AFC administration. There is blatant racial discrimination. There is blatant political discrimination. And I want to home in on that. Because a lot of the rice farmers who made contact with me and provided the information that I posted are not African rice farmers. They're East Indians. And the names were omitted from the list because they are perceived to be APNU AFC supporters. And that is what I talk about, the political discrimination. And then when it comes to the African farmers, it is blatant. Is that the list, for example, in the Mahaica-Borbis region, 65% of the people who comprise on that list happens to be rice farmers from Bushlat village alone. 65%. The Mahaica-Borbis region stretches from Mahaica all the way to Roseau. And 65% of the names that reflects on the list for rice farmers grant happens to come from Bushlat, one village, a predominantly PPP stronghold from that village. I take you to the island of Wakenham. It is the same thing there. And when you talk about corruption, it is not by accident. I tell people that with PPP, nothing happens by accident. Everything is a well thought out plan. And that plan is essentially to put millions of dollars in their supporters' hands. It is happening in Region 6. I posted the name of the individuals who were tasked with compiling that list. In Region 5, I posted the name of the persons who were responsible for compiling the list. The individuals who got $3, $5, $7, $9, and $10 million respectively, they haven't even planted a head of shallot. They haven't even planted a head of shallot.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
real farmers,
Yeah.
the real farmers who actually lost during those floods, barely received $45,000, $220,000, where you got these individual cashing in. And the person's name, as I mentioned, who are taking the $3, $5, and $7 million happens to be pro-known People's Progressive Party civic supporters.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that was obtained during the COVID-19 cash grant. It is the same thing, blatant racial discrimination in which predominantly African villages, communities were overlooked. In some streets, in some villages where you have 400 people residing, only 75 persons of African descent got the COVID-19 cash grant. Blatant racial discrimination. And it's happening across the length of this country. And their supporters are now feeling the squeeze because they now realize even though may support the PPP, may support my party, me getting money.
Some support better. Some people got more support.
That's correct. Right?
That's correct. The wicked, Chris, the wicked, the stink, and the dirty. Devin, as we lost you early on, I want to give you the final word this evening.
Look, we're saying as Region 10 residents, look, we thank you so much, and leaders within Region 10, and I speak on behalf of the Madam Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Regional Chairman, myself and Figueroa. We thank Lindeners and Region 10 residents for coming out today. Right, the work has just begun. We're in this for the long haul. I know the PPP will try to change the narrative of what happened today. We had a peaceful protest. The police out there, we thank you so much, the peace officers. No one got arrested, Chris and Sharon. No one got arrested today. We stood in line, we crossed the bridge, and contrary to what they were purporting on the news and everything, that we will block the bridge and this, nothing like that happened. We showed up there in our numbers. The residents got their information, got facts, and they went back home and they're sharing it with their neighbor. But don't take our kindness for granted.
Yeah.
Don't take
and for weakness
today for granted. There are three things that we are going to be exploring over the next couple of days. And we give them a couple of days. We're going to sign a petition. Every resident of Region 10, we're going to sign a petition going against mandatory or forced vaccinations. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to also be exploring legal advice when it comes to mandatory vaccinations. We're going to be doing that. And if it is that the PPP install regime don't change from that, well, then we'll have to take alternative actions.
I like the last part, the alternative actions, because this leopard here, I think I like how you are being hopeful, but this leopard, I don't think this leopard can change this spots. But we're gonna stay hopeful with y'all and watch and see. And we know that the Ministry of Health has given nurses now up until Monday to get vaccinated and so forth. I see we got to sit in some of these. They don't have police to lock up people or jail to lock up people. If we start sitting into some of these places, nurses or whoever else, where they're requesting these guys, you start sitting in, like don't cross bridges, they don't have enough police. And we're heading there. We're heading there. Chris?
The other thing, really quick, let me just wrap up, right? The other thing is that we know and we accept that we're in a pandemic. But when you start affecting people and their earnings, one of the things that Priya Manichan is saying, that look, every teacher needs to get a PCR test every week, rather, right? We're saying to them as well, if you want our public servants to get a PCR test, you pay for it. It should not come out of the hard-working people of this country's pocket. You pay for it, PPP. That's what we're saying to you. And if these demands are not met, we're going to turn the heat up on you. That is what we're going to do as guys.
MPs, Christopher Jones, Member of Parliament and Chief Whip, Opposition Chief Whip, and also Member of Parliament, Devin Sears out of Region 10. I want to thank you guys for dropping by in the ring. This was a fight tonight. Thanks for dropping by, guys. Have a great evening. Chris and Devin. Thanks, guys. That being said, guys, you know these jagabats here that we got to deal with. These jagabats, they're easy. So I have asked for your support to continue to improve and expand on what we're doing. And they're saying, oh, what's them asking for money? What's Duncan asking for money? Oh, your thief is a problem. They allege that I stole X, Y, and Z. You're coming honestly. To you, me coming to them, I would never go to, I rather dead before I go to the PPP and ask them for anything. I tell you that. You hear anybody mention me and PPP in the same sentence, got me that fighting them. Anything else, don't believe them. I am not like some people. Me drinking soup. I mean drinking not in cup. I drinking straight from bottle. So to expand what we're doing, to build capacity, to bring you the information that you need, that we need as a people to move forward, to make intelligent decisions, I'm asking, I'm ashamed to ask, I'm asking you to partner with us here in the ring. We're not asking for $5 million each. We hope we get there. To expand on what we do, expand our studio space, expand the equipment that we have, to help us to get to certain places, to get the information for you, to partner with us on a monthly basis. We have the Cash App that is now available. We heard it's very prolific in the US and also in the UK. The handle on the Cash App is the $ in the ring 592. The $ in the ring 592. And we're asking for as little as $5 a month, if that is what you can contribute, and as high as $20 a month. Anything else is up to you. Right? So you can partner with us for $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month, or $20 a month. We're also available on PayPal, and it's in the ring 592 at Gmail on PayPal. In the ring 592 at Gmail for PayPal. And we're also available on the GT&T MMG system at phone number 627-6963, our usual number 627-6963. And as per normal, a couple folks in the past have used MoneyGram and Western Union to help us to build capacity in what we're doing. And guys, we are doing that. When we get to where we need to be, I'll give you a walkthrough of our studio area, and you'll see what your dollars are doing to help us to advance this cause. Folks, I've been telling you almost a year now, we are growing. Over 3,000 persons are watching us live every night. You might be seeing about 2,800 persons on Facebook, on my Facebook page in particular. But at the back end, we can see who we're pulling in from Twitter and who we're pulling in from YouTube. And about over 3,000 persons watch us live. Last evening program, when we were coming on, has close to 25,000 views thus far. That is because of you. PPP talk about our program, not because of me, because you keep showing up for the information, and we want to do it better. We want to do it even more professional. And so we're asking you guys to partner with us on a monthly basis. And I'm telling you, your dollars will be well spent here in increments of whether $5 per month, if that is what you can afford based on your other responsibility. Fair enough. $10 US, $15 US per month, $20 US per month. Or if it's $2 you have, or $1, we invite that. Again, on the Cash App, it's the $ in the ring 592, the $ in the ring 592. We're also available on PayPal. It's in the ring 592 at Gmail, in the ring 592 at Gmail. And as I said, we're available on the MMG app. That's the GT&T local app here in Guyana. The MMG app, it's 627-6963. 627-6963. And we're also available on MoneyGram and also at Western Union. We invite you to partner with us on a monthly basis. Thank you, folks. Continue to social distance, wear your mask, sanitize, practice all the COVID-19 protocols that are in place for your health and your safety, that of your friends, family, and loved ones. Thanks for joining us, folks, in the ring. Let's fight. Those of you who are coming back to view the live stream later on, do share the live stream. Thanks very much. Stay safe, folks.